Hello everyone and Assalamu Alaikum. My name is Huzaifah Ahmed and I'm from Rehan Korangi campus. And today for the review video that I am recording right now, I watched this TEDx called How Great Leaders Inspire Action by Simon Sinek. And for today, I will be reviewing this, of course. So, this talk has been viewed over 60 million times on the TED website alone. And honestly, once you hear his main idea, you'll understand why. So, Sinek opens with a question that sounds simple, but it's actually pretty deep. Why is it that some people and some organizations are able to inspire while others with the exact same resources, the same talent, and the same tools just can't? Like, what's the difference? Why is Apple so consistently innovative when every other tech company has access to the same people and the same technology? Why was it Martin Luther King who led the civil rights movement and not someone else? Why were the Wright brothers the ones who had figured out powered flight? His answer to all of these questions comes down to one framework he calls the golden circle. The golden circle has three layers. On the outside is what every single person and organization on the planet knows what they do. In the middle is how. Some know how they do it, their process, their differentiator. But a very few can clearly articulate the innermost layer, the why. Why do you do what you do? What's your purpose? What's your belief? And what's the reason you even get out of bed in the morning? And here's when it gets really interesting. Sinek says most people and most companies communicate from the outside in. They start with what they do, maybe explain how, and rarely ever get to why. But inspired leaders, the ones who actually move people, they do the complete opposite. They start from the inside out. They lead with why. He uses Apple as a clearest example. He says if Apple communicated like most companies, they'd say something like, we make great computers, they're beautifully designed and easy to use, and want to buy one? That's fine, but that's not what actually Apple does. Instead, Apple's message has always been everything we do, we believe in challenging the status. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status is by making products that are beautifully designed and easy to use. And we happen to make computers. Same company, same products, completely different energy, and that's the point. Then he goes into the biology of it. And this is where it really clicks. The what part of the communication corresponds to the outer layer of the brain, the neocortex, which handles rational thought and language. But the why, it speaks to the limbic brain, the part that controls emotions, trust, gut, feeling, loyalty, and crucially, the part that drives decision making. The limbic brain doesn't do language. That's why when something feels right, but you can't explain why, that's your limbic brain talking. And great leaders know how to speak directly to it. One of those lines from this talk that actually stuck with me is the distinction he makes between leaders and people who lead. He says, leaders hold a position of power or authority, but people who actually lead, they inspire us. And we follow them not because we have to, but because we want to. We follow them not for them, but for ourselves. Because their why aligns with ours. That reframe is everything. It means true leadership has nothing to do with your title or your rank. It has everything to do with your belief and your ability to communicate. What I personally took away from this is that the way isn't just a building strategy, or the why isn't just a business strategy. It applies to everything you can think of in today's world. Why you're studying, what you're studying, why you show up the way you do. The people who are clear on their why carry a completely different kind of energy, and others feel it. If you haven't watched this talk yet, I genuinely think it's worth your time. And it's one of those rare ideas that sounds obvious the moment you hear it, but changes how you see leadership, communication, and sometimes even yourself. That was my review for how great leaders inspire action, and this was the last TEDx talk of my tasks. And I think and I believe that you got something out of it. See you in the interviews ahead. Allah Hafiz, everyone, and thank you.